Okay guys, welcome to this video tutorial. This is a complete login PHP script. I decided to do this because I have actually seen that there is no really secure prepare statement PHP login script there in YouTube, so I decided to do this. Okay, so remember in our previous video I did your registration PHP script, and remember we hashed the password. So when you hash your password, you have to also compare the input. Here we have the input here. You have to compare the input with the hashed password already in your database table, in your database. So you compare this with what you get from here, which is stored here. You compare the two. If they match, then log in. If they don't, we have an invalid password. So the logic here is, we first off we connected to our database over here, then started session. You have to start session, of course, because once you log in, we like to create session variables with the user data that can be used all around the website. So then using our post method, we'll get the value, the username or email. In this case I requested for email. In our login page, the name for this input is email, so that reflected over there in the login script. And remember, in the form over there, in our form login script.php handles our form, which is here. So our email, the name, the first input there is email, and the second one is password pass. So there we grab the user input, that's the email, and the password. We'll save the email in that variable user, and the password in this variable get password. So we securely query the database using a PHP prepare statement. That's the database connection. We prepare that. So we check if this is successful. This is our query. We are seeking for the user ID, email, password, address from your table name, whatever your table name is. I changed this so that you understand me. And email, I also had to change how I wrote my database so that no one will really okay. So, and some of the structure actually. So now you bind parameter. What we are looking for in this case is just the user email. Don't look for password, because this password here will never match this password exactly, because this is hashed. So we'll bind the user email to this, then we execute and store the result. Then we check the num rows. If we have such email existing in the database, then the next thing to do is to bind all this, the user ID to ID, the email to email, the password to pass. We created these variables here, bind result. We created these new variables to contain whatever we get from the database, and we bind this address to add. Then using the fetch okay, so we fetch, then we check if I'm assuming that most of us already understand that we already understand these basic things, but it's just the structure, the logic. That's what I want us to pay attention to. So if we have any such username existing in the database, then check, now verify this password. This is the user input, and this is the password we grab from the database, the one that is hashed. So this is the function that will check if these two match. It will convert this to this and check if they match. If true, then we create session. We are logged in, of course. Then this header will take us to whatever, whether it's the user dashboard or the index page you want to go back to and change the nav bar or however you want it. So this takes us to the next page. But if this does not match, we get this error message, invalid, which will take us back to login page. With this, we can now use the get method to grab this and echo, probably tell them that the password is incorrect. That is what I did here. So if we have this, and this is equal to invalid password, then echo invalid password. So I did it for empty field, to check empty field, to check for invalid email format, invalid password, and if the user does not exist. So now in this case, if this is not true, if this is not true, this statement is not true, we'll land on this else, which is we'll return with invalid password. But then if we don't even get into this point at all, meaning that this is not true, meaning that such username or email does not exist, that means it will skip all this. It will skip this entire place. Look at this. That's the container. So it will skip this place and just jump to else, meaning such username does not exist in the database. We'll get this error message. Use our get method and display on the login page. Nothing else there to check. You close this stmt. We use stmt variable for our prepare statement. You can close. It's better to close it, don't just leave it open. But if that's why I put this if statement here, you can never be too careful when it comes to programming. If this query does not run, or for whatsoever reason, you can also return this error message. So please remember to subscribe to my channel, share, invite your friends, invite your family, anybody to join, learn. What I'll be posting is just real problems that I solved while doing my project. I'll just post it up there so that other programmers can take advantage of that. Not just PHP, any other language I'm working on. So stay tuned, expect more videos. Thanks.